Salams and welcome to Life Changing Brain lesson number 67. Genius is hard work. And Thomas Edison famously said, genius is 1% inspiration, that means your brain power, your thoughts, and 99% perspiration, hard work. Please teach this philosophy to your children, your grandchildren. If you are looking for a job or if you want to have a success in your studies or in your academic works, remember, brain power will only take you to a certain extent. Brain power is important, but hard work, nothing can replace hard work. So if you look like people like Thomas Edison and you say, what an amazing, intelligent man. But Thomas Edison said it's got nothing to do with intelligence. It's got to do with hard work. And I would like to add with hard work, I like to refer to the 3 H's. Hard work, honesty, and humility. You've got to have that 3 powerful combination, and then you find that you'll start achieving success in life. So what did Thomas Edison do? He was a very famous inventor and businessman in early 20th century. I apologize, my lungs are giving me a bit of difficulty. Astaghfirullah. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. In the early days, in the early 20th century in the United States of America. And he was an inventor, a very brilliant man. You know, he had homeschooling. His mother taught him from a young age at home. He loved his main passion. Imagine from a young age. You know what is his passion? His passion was reading. He was a voracious reader. He used to love to read. And this was his hobby throughout his life. He had 2 hobbies. One hobby was reading. Second hobby was just doing experiments. You know, whatever he could find, he was just doing experiments from a young age. So he had 2 passions. Then he was the very first, one of the earliest inventors to apply the principles of organized science and teamwork. That means he implemented in his famous factories, this huge laboratory place of warehouses, and he used to collect all types of material and chemicals. He had thousands upon thousands upon thousands of different types of material, or needles, or nuts and bolts, anything he could get his hands on, because he was an experimenter in innovation. He has got more than 1,000, I think 1,039 or 1,093 patents or patents in his name. That means he's done these inventions. He has just been thinking. He has been using his brain. And you know, he's got a famous quotation on his wall in his factories where he said, the most difficult thing is the ability to think. And he said, if you tell your staff or you tell your manager, solve this problem, he said people will run away. People don't want to solve problems. They like to do things. We tell them, do A, B, C, they will do it. They will do it very well. But if you tell a person, find a solution for this, people will run away. You know why? It's very difficult to find a solution. Very, very difficult. Because our brains are in a cage. Our brain is very powerful. So the question we need to ask is that who has put our brain in a cage? And just to remind yourself and myself, please help me get 1,000 and 10,000 subscribers. Spinal disability, home invasion, gunshots. And I just need your help. Just press, it'll take you 5 seconds at the bottom of this video. There's a subscription button. So the whole point here is Thomas Edison, who is putting your brain in a cage, and he famously said on his factory walls that, and let me just get this here, genius is 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration. Because he was asked, is it something unique about you, that are you so intelligent that you have made so many inventions? And he said no. He said the time that I spent on the thinking of it, you know, the thought processes, the thinking only takes me 1% of my time. I will take a pen and paper, and I will start thinking, and I will start making new inventions. But he said that is actually the easy part. So even though thinking is very difficult, but according to Edison, that is actually the easy part. Because after that, the real work begins. And we know in his famous story of the incandescent lamp, okay, this was a lamp, and in late 19th century, early 20th century, lamps from, you know, that globe that you see putting in your light fitting. Imagine how easy it is. You just go to a shop, you buy a globe, and you put it in, and it's done. Right? That's the globe that we're seeing here. But in the 18th century, 19th century, these globes were made by hand. People used to blow glass and make the glass, and then they used to put filaments inside. And they were very, very expensive. Only the rich people could afford globes or incandescent lamps in those days. Only the wealthy people could afford it. Ordinary people could not afford this globe. And in that, Thomas Edison said, okay, I want to have mass production of globes. I want the globes to have access to everybody. One of the difficulties, I apologize. One of the difficulties that the inventors in those days had was with regard to the incandescent lamp was it was in a vacuum, but it was burning out. The filament was the main problem. The filament. Okay. And Thomas Edison started doing many experiments until eventually, and he famously said this, 10,000 experiments. Excuse me. 10,000 experiments until he finally managed to get the carbon filament that will be heated so brightly that it will light up the globe. And in today's time, without vacuum, we now have low density gases like argon, and in some cases hydrogen. But I think in most of the glass lamps they are using argon, which is an inert gas, and it doesn't cause any problems. But this is because of the hard work. 1% inspiration, 99% perspiration, and his very famous quotation of Thomas Edison. He said, look how positive his brain is. You see, he does not look at it as a failure. Look, and we must learn from that. Even though he did 10,000 experiments, first thing, he never gave up. He never gave up. He didn't say, how many times we give up? We'll try one time, we'll try two, I can't do it. Let us say you want to try and swim. You will try one swimming lesson, two. By the 10th swimming lesson, you say, this is not for me. If you want to learn how to play the piano, you'll try a little bit and you say, it's not for me. Okay, you want to try a new computer, like myself. I'm new to technology. I don't know social media. I'm struggling, but I keep trying. I keep trying. I don't quit. I've got things behind me to say, don't quit, keep trying. Now, Thomas Edison said, look how beautifully he said this, I have not failed. I have just found 10,000 ways that won't work. Look how beautifully he turns that whole concept around. So it's not regarded as a failure. He just said, I found 10,000 ways that won't work. Let me ask you a question. Have you tried something 10,000 different ways? 10,000 different ways. Okay. So this I'm appealing to all the people who want to start a business. Do you know that 80% of new businesses, and let me know your thoughts in your comments. Have you started your own business? Have you failed in your business? Let me know your comments, subscribe, let me know, share your thoughts. Have you tried something and you failed? Do you know how difficult it is to start a business? You need to get money. You need to draw a business plan. You need to go to the bank. You need to show them your business plan. You need to tell them, I'm starting a new business. They will tell you no. They will tell you what assets you got. Banks won't give you money unless you got money. Isn't that illogical? It's like an oxymoron. I mean, if I had money, why would I go to the bank? So the first you go to the bank, I need money. They say, how much money do you have? How much assets do you have? I mean, if I was a rich man, I wouldn't be coming to your door. So it's like an oxymoron concept, okay? But the main thing about business is keep trying. Don't look at other people's businesses and say, oh, that guy is lucky, or maybe he stole money, or maybe he's pulling a job. Don't do that. 90% of people are honest and hardworking. Only 10% are rotten apples. Let's not judge everybody by the 10%. Let's learn from Thomas Edison. Let's learn to work hard. Let's get a good idea. If you have a new business plan, or if you want to start a career, or if you're studying in your exams, even if you fail your exams, let us say you failed in April. You study hard. You failed in June. You study hard. You fail in September. You keep trying. Don't say, oh, I don't have the brains. Maybe I'm stupid. Then you are programming your brain. You are putting your own brain in a cage. Never insult yourself. Never tell yourself you are stupid. Because the minute you do that, you are then become your own worst enemy. So let's learn from Thomas Edison. Let's remember that genius is hard work, and that if you want to succeed anything in life, first have an idea, but the idea is only 1%. The rest of the thing comes from hard work. Never be shy of hard work. Stay well. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen.